In the early hours of December 15, 2025, the Black Sea port of Novorossiysk became the site of a historic military operation that would forever alter the landscape of naval warfare. Ukrainian forces successfully executed the world's first underwater drone strike against a submarine, targeting a Russian Project 𝙄𝙣𝙨𝙞𝙜𝙝 𝙤𝙣𝙨-class submarine, known in NATO designation as a Kilo-class vessel, valued at an estimated $400 to $500 million. The weapon used in this groundbreaking assault was Ukraine's newly revealed Subsea Baby underwater drone, an evolution of the surface-based Sea Baby drones that have already wreaked havoc on Russia's Black Sea fleet. This wasn't just another military engagement in the ongoing conflict. This was a demonstration of how a nation without a traditional navy could challenge and defeat a major naval power through innovation, determination, and asymmetric warfare tactics. The strike sent shockwaves through military circles worldwide and delivered a clear message. In modern warfare, technological innovation can level even the most unequal playing fields. But how did a nation without a navy manage to strike a submarine worth $500 million? What technology made this impossible mission possible? And what does this mean for the future of naval warfare? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about modern combat. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, the naval balance in the Black Sea appeared overwhelmingly one-sided. Russia's Black Sea Fleet, headquartered in Sevastopol on the annexed Crimean Peninsula, was considered one of Moscow's most prized maritime assets, a symbol of imperial power dating back centuries. The fleet represented Russia's ability to project force across the Black Sea, threaten amphibious assaults, enforce naval blockades, and launch devastating cruise missile strikes deep into Ukrainian territory. Ukraine, by contrast, possessed minimal conventional naval capabilities. Facing the prospect of complete maritime domination by a vastly superior adversary, Ukrainian military planners recognized that conventional responses were impossible. The only viable strategy was innovation, to develop asymmetric capabilities that could exploit Russian vulnerabilities and impose unsustainable costs on the enemy fleet. What followed was one of the most remarkable transformations in modern military history. Over 3 years of intense combat operations, Ukraine has destroyed or damaged at least 24 to 26 Russian vessels in the Black Sea, including the flagship cruiser Moskva, multiple landing ships, patrol boats, and now a submarine. This campaign forced Russia to abandon its historic base at Sevastopol and relocate the remaining fleet assets to Novorossiysk on Russia's mainland coast. The withdrawal from Sevastopol represented not just a tactical setback, but a profound strategic and symbolic defeat for Moscow. Imagine being told in 2022 that within 3 years, Ukraine would force the entire Russian Black Sea fleet to flee its home port. Most military experts would have called you crazy. But that's exactly what happened. The key to Ukraine's success in the Black Sea has been the development and continuous improvement of unmanned maritime systems, particularly the Sea Baby family of drones. Developed by Ukraine's Security Service, SBU, beginning in July 2022, these platforms evolved from early kamikaze models into sophisticated multi-mission systems. Defense Plus 3. The surface version of Sea Baby measures approximately 6 meters in length and 2 meters in width, with a low profile of just 0.6 meters above the waterline. This minimal radar cross-section makes the drones extremely difficult to detect and intercept. Early versions carried 108-kilogram warheads, but the platform evolved rapidly to accommodate up to 850 kilograms of explosives, with the latest iterations capable of carrying payloads up to 2,000 kilograms. Perhaps more impressive than the payload capacity, is the operational range. The newest 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙨 variants can operate at distances exceeding 1,500 kilometers from their launch points, enabling strikes deep into what Russia considered secure waters. The drones feature multiple redundant communication systems, modular equipment bays for various mission profiles, and can reach maximum speeds of 49 knots. According to SBU head 𝙄𝙣𝙨𝙞𝙝𝙡, the 𝙤𝙤𝙨𝙨 drones represent indigenous Ukrainian technical development, created by SBU teams working alongside civilian engineers and IT specialists. The project began immediately after the full-scale invasion and took just months to produce operational systems, a testament to Ukrainian ingenuity under extreme pressure. If you're finding this deep dive into Ukraine's innovative defense technology fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll continue bringing you detailed analysis of how Ukraine is rewriting the rules of modern warfare. Your support means everything to this channel. The surface 𝙤𝙤𝙨𝙨 drones have already compiled an impressive combat record. They've struck Russian warships, landing craft, patrol boats, and infrastructure across the Black Sea. They've also targeted Russia's shadow fleet, tankers used to circumvent Western sanctions on oil exports. Notable recent operations include strikes on the tankers Kairos and Virat in late November 2024 and the 𝙄𝙣𝙨 in December, all resulting in critical damage. But the December 15th strike on Novorossiysk introduced the world to a new variant, the 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙨𝙨. This underwater version represents a quantum leap in capability, transforming the 𝙤𝙤𝙨𝙨 from a surface threat into a three-dimensional menace capable of penetrating even heavily defended harbors. Think about this for a moment. Ukraine went from having almost no naval capabilities to developing underwater drones that can hunt submarines in just 3 years. How many other countries could pull that off under wartime conditions? The submarine targeted in the Novorossiysk strike was a Project 636-3 Warship-class vessel, part of Russia's modern diesel-electric submarine fleet. These boats, known by their NATO designation as Improved Kilo 2 class, are considered among the quietest conventional submarines in the world, earning them the nickname Black Holes for their ability to operate nearly undetected by enemy sonar. Project 636.3 submarines displace approximately 2,350 tons when surfaced and 3,100 to 4,000 tons submerged, measuring 242 feet in length with a 32.5-foot beam. They're fitted with 6 533mm bow torpedo tubes and can carry a weapons loadout of up to 18 torpedoes or 24 naval mines. But the most dangerous capability of these submarines is their ability to launch Kalibr cruise missiles. The 3M14 Kalibr is a long-range land attack cruise missile with a range of up to 2,500 kilometers, while the 3M54 variant is designed for anti-ship operations. Each Kilo-class submarine can carry up to 4 Kalibr missiles as part of its weapons mix, launched from the standard torpedo tubes. Since 2022, Russian Black Sea Fleet submarines have made extensive use of Kalibr missiles to attack Ukrainian cities and infrastructure. The missiles' long range, precision guidance, and conventional or potentially nuclear warheads make them one of Russia's most effective strategic weapons in the conflict. Eliminating a platform capable of launching these missiles represents a significant operational victory for Ukraine. According to Ukrainian estimates, a single Project 636.3 submarine costs approximately $400 million to construct under normal circumstances. However, with international sanctions restricting Russia's access to critical components and advanced technology, building a replacement could now cost up to $500 million, assuming Russia can even acquire the necessary materials and expertise. The financial implications of the strike are therefore substantial, imposing significant costs on Russia's already strained defense industrial base. Here's the stunning part. This submarine that took years and $500 million to build was taken out by a drone that cost a fraction of that amount. Let that sink in for a moment. The details of how Ukraine executed this unprecedented operation remain partially classified, but the available evidence reveals a sophisticated and daring mission. The 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙚𝙤 underwater drone had to navigate through the Black Sea, approach the heavily defended 𝙄𝙣𝙨𝙞𝙜𝙝 naval base, now Russia's primary Black Sea fleet facility, and locate the specific submarine among multiple vessels berthed at the port. 𝙄𝙤𝙨 video footage released by the SBU shows a Kilo-class submarine moored alongside a pier, followed by a massive explosion at the submarine's position. The blast occurred at the stern of the vessel, suggesting the 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙚𝙤 detonated near or beneath the submarine's propulsion systems and aft control surfaces. Defense Plus One satellite imagery obtained from Vantor, formerly Maxar Technologies, and Planet Labs confirms the attack's location and impact. The images show substantial damage to the pier itself, with a significant section destroyed by the explosion. Independent media organizations and open-source intelligence analysts have geolocated the footage to Novorossiysk, verifying the SBU's claims. NBC News Plus 2. According to the SBU's statement, the submarine sustained critical damage and was effectively put out of action. The agency emphasized that the submarine was armed with 4-caliber cruise missile launchers, weapons that Russia uses to strike at the territory of Ukraine. By eliminating this platform, Ukraine removed a significant threat to its cities and infrastructure. Euronews Plus One. The operation was conducted jointly by the SBU's 13th Directorate and the Ukrainian Navy, demonstrating close coordination between Ukraine's intelligence and military services. This cooperation has been a hallmark of Ukraine's maritime campaign, enabling the seamless integration of intelligence gathering, operational planning, and tactical execution. Drone XL Plus One. Can you imagine being the operators controlling this drone? Navigating hundreds of kilometers through enemy waters, evading Russian defenses, and striking a target worth $500 million? The nerves of steel required for this mission are almost unimaginable. Russia's defense ministry swiftly denied the Ukrainian claims, stating that not a single ship or submarine, as well as the crews of the Black Sea Fleet stationed in the bay of the Novorossiysk naval base, were damaged. This denial followed Moscow's standard pattern of refusing to acknowledge successful Ukrainian strikes, even when evidence contradicts official statements. The fact that Russia felt compelled to issue a denial at all suggests the strike had significant impact. Moscow typically ignores minor incidents, but responds to attacks that cause genuine damage or embarrassment. The Novorossiysk strike clearly falls into the latter category. The strategic significance of this operation extends far beyond the damage to a single submarine. The strike demonstrates that even after relocating the Black Sea Fleet from Sevastopol to Novorossiysk, a move intended to place Russian assets beyond Ukrainian reach, Moscow's warships remain vulnerable. Novorossiysk is located on Russia's mainland coast, approximately 250 kilometers east of Sevastopol and significantly farther from Ukrainian-controlled territory. Russian military planners apparently believed this distance would provide adequate security against Ukrainian strikes. The December 15th attack shattered that assumption, UK defense journal Plus One. As one analysis noted, the message could not be clearer. As Trump pushes for a quick settlement and reportedly pressures Ukraine to cede territory, Kyiv is demonstrating that it can still inflict significant damage on Russian military assets. The timing of the strike, coming amid renewed diplomatic efforts to end the conflict, sends a powerful signal about Ukraine's capabilities and resolve. The SBU's statement explicitly connected the Novorossiysk strike to Ukraine's broader maritime campaign. The damaged boat was forced to remain in the port of Novorossiysk due to successful special operations by 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙆 surface drones, which drove Russian ships and submarines out of Sevastopol Bay in the temporarily occupied Crimea. This framing positions the underwater strike as the culmination of a 3-year effort to systematically degrade Russian naval capabilities. The operation also validates Ukraine's asymmetric approach to maritime warfare. Rather than attempting to build a conventional navy capable of matching Russia ship for ship, an impossibly expensive and time-consuming proposition, Ukraine developed low-cost, high-impact, unmanned systems that exploit vulnerabilities in traditional naval defenses. This cost imposition strategy has proven remarkably effective, forcing Russia into a defensive posture and ultimately driving the Black Sea Fleet from its historic base. Lawfare Media +1. Here's what keeps Russian admirals up at night. If Ukraine can strike Novorossiysk, what port is truly safe? Murmansk? Vladivostok? The psychological impact of this strike extends far beyond the physical damage. The Novorossiysk strike represents what defense analysts are calling a strategic inflection point in naval warfare. For the first time in history, an underwater unmanned vehicle successfully attacked a submarine in combat conditions, a development with profound implications for navies worldwide. Traditional submarine warfare relies on stealth, with boats operating submerged to avoid detection. Submarines hunt other submarines using sophisticated sonar systems, torpedoes, and highly trained crews. The idea that a relatively inexpensive unmanned drone could penetrate a defended harbor and disable a submarine challenges fundamental assumptions about underwater combat. The financial calculus is particularly striking. While exact costs remain classified, unmanned maritime drones are exponentially cheaper than conventional naval vessels. A $500 million submarine, requiring years to construct and highly specialized infrastructure, can potentially be neutralized by a drone, costing a fraction of that amount. This cost-effectiveness enables Ukraine to impose unsustainable attrition on a wealthier adversary, inverting traditional economic advantages in warfare. Moreover, the proliferation of unmanned systems is reshaping the strategic landscape. Ukraine has largely shifted from importing complete drone systems to assembling them domestically using foreign components, with plans to export maritime drones internationally. This democratization of advanced military technology means that even nations without large defense budgets can develop potent asymmetric capabilities. Think about the implications. If Ukraine can do this with limited resources in just 3 years of wartime development, what could other nations achieve? Could this technology be the great equalizer that prevents future wars, or does it make conflict more likely? That's a question worth pondering. As of January 2026, Ukraine's maritime drone campaign shows no signs of slowing. The SBU and Ukrainian military intelligence continue developing new variants and capabilities for their unmanned systems. Recent reports indicate 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙆 drones have been equipped with multiple rocket launchers for counter-drone operations and other offensive missions. The Russian Black Sea Fleet, meanwhile, remains significantly degraded, having lost or damaged at least 24 to 26 vessels since February 2022. Moscow's ability to operate freely in the Black Sea has been severely constrained. The forced relocation from Sevastopol to Novorossiysk represented a major symbolic defeat, and now even that supposedly secure location has proven vulnerable. For Ukraine, the maritime campaign has delivered multiple strategic victories. It broke the attempted Russian naval blockade, enabling the reopening of grain export corridors vital to Ukraine's economy and global food security. It eliminated the threat of amphibious assaults on Odessa and other coastal cities. and it forced Russia to divert significant air defense and surveillance assets to protect naval facilities, reducing pressure on other fronts. Perhaps most importantly, Ukraine's success in the Black Sea demonstrates that innovation, determination, and creative tactical thinking can overcome seemingly insurmountable conventional disadvantages. The image of small, remotely operated drones challenging a major nuclear power's navy captures the essence of Ukraine's resistance. Outmatched in size and resources, but never in ingenuity or courage. What's next for Ukraine's 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙞𝙤 program? Sources suggest even more advanced variants are in development. Longer ranges, heavier payloads, improved stealth capabilities, the evolution continues. Russia's navy has nowhere left to hide. The December 15th strike on Novorossiysk naval base delivered multiple messages. To the Russian military, it demonstrated that no port is beyond Ukrainian reach and that even supposedly secure mainland facilities remain vulnerable. To Russia's defense planners, it proved that relocating assets away from the front lines provides no guarantee of safety. To the Russian people, it offered another example of how their government's special military operation has gone catastrophically wrong. But perhaps most significantly, the strike sent a message to the world. Ukraine refuses to be intimidated, refuses to surrender, and continues developing the capabilities needed to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. 3 years into a war many expected would be over in weeks, Ukraine remains not just standing, but innovating, adapting, and succeeding against enormous odds. The 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙤𝙤's successful strike on a $500 million submarine represents more than just tactical success. It symbolizes Ukraine's transformation from underdog to innovator, from victim to victor in the Black Sea. And as long as Ukrainian engineers continue developing new systems, Ukrainian operators continue executing daring missions, and Ukrainian defenders continue fighting for their homeland, Russia's Black Sea fleet will have nowhere to hide. The 𝙄𝙤𝙨𝙤s have spoken, and their message echoes across the Black Sea. Ukrainian waters remain Ukrainian, and the price of Russian aggression continues to rise with each passing day. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think underwater drones will eventually replace traditional submarines? Could this technology prevent future wars by making naval dominance too expensive, or does it make conflict more dangerous? And what do you think Ukraine's next innovation will be? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm genuinely curious about your perspective. If you want to stay informed about Ukraine's groundbreaking military innovations and the latest battlefield developments, subscribe to this channel and smash that bell icon so you never miss an update. If you believe in Ukraine's fight for freedom and sovereignty, share this video to help spread awareness of their remarkable achievements. And don't forget to check out our previous video on how Ukraine sank Russia's Black Sea flagship Moskva. The link is right there in the description. Thanks for watching. And remember, Slava Ukraini, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes.